What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Quarantine Chronicles. Today we're going to talk about back squatting versus front squatting. Is one better than the other? When should you use it? Who is it best for? And where it should fall in your periodization cycles for your athletes. So first things first, let's talk about EMG studies between the two. Now, an EMG study just measures electrical activity in the muscle during an activity. So there was a study done in 2015 that measured isometric contraction, the ascending portion and the descending portion of both squats. It looked at three muscles of the quads, the rectus femoris, the vastus medialis, and the vastus lateralis. It looked at the lower back and measuring the erector spinae. It looked at the glutes and measuring the gluteus maximus. And it looked at the hamstrings, looking at the biceps femoris and the semitendinosus. So overall measuring 7 different muscles during the isometric contraction, the ascending portion and the descending portion of both squats. What they found is during max isometric contraction, that they generally all fire the same except for the vastus medialis during the front squat. When looking at the ascending portion of both squats, what they found is that all muscles were more active in the ascending portion of the front squat versus the descending. What they also found is that during the ascending portion of the back squat, that the gluteus maximus, biceps femoris, and semitendinosus, or the hamstrings, were significantly higher during the ascending portion of the back squat. What they found is the vastus medialis had a significantly higher activation during the ascension portion of the front squat, and also the semitendinosus had a significantly higher activation during the ascension portion of the back squat. All this is measuring is the significant differences in muscle activation during the standing up portion and the sitting down portion between the front and the back squat. Really what it's showing is that there's a higher activation in the glutes and hamstrings in the back squat and a significantly higher activation in the quads in the front squat during ascension. Which all makes sense when you think about the simple biomechanics of the movement. When performing the back squat, the bar is placed on the posterior side, letting the vector of force travel through the glutes and the hamstrings. But when the bars move to the front of the body, the vector of force is changed. It goes to place the emphasis on the anterior portion, pushing all of the load through the quads. Other things to consider is that if you're trying to train absolute leg strength, the back squat will be vastly superior because you can lift a significantly higher absolute load, meaning you can handle more weight in the back squat, increasing the weightlifting capability over the front squat. When looking at the front versus back squat, the back squat is generally easier for novices. The front squat has a different component of flexibility, meaning you have to have greater lat flexibility, greater upper back flexibility and strength, and greater tricep flexibility as well. Another good thing about the front squat is it trains the catch position for your Olympic lifts. During Olympic lifting progressions, generally you start with a front squat because it teaches that catch position innately while getting the stronger along the way. The catch won't come till further later in their training, but they don't know that they're already ready to receive that catch because they've been practicing the front squat. When looking at the two between the front and the back squat, is there a sport specificity construct here? Really, if you're looking at Olympic weightlifters, the front squat will be vastly superior simply because that's the nature of their sport, and the back squat for a power lifter will be vastly superior because that's the movement pattern in which they practice and compete. But outside of those athletes, there really isn't much different because they're training the legs, the back, and the core evenly while possibly highlighting weaknesses throughout the lift. So again, make the choice for yourself, intermittently change them throughout their periodization phases, use whichever lift shows a significant increase in their athleticism and overall transfer onto the field. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to contact me, you can do so through email, jeff@njfast.com. You can check us out on our website, njfast.com. Continue to follow us on social media @njfast or give us a call, 732-251-5224. See you guys tomorrow.